Hey guys, so here is part 2 of the 3.1 notes. So let's talk about what happens when we have different lines and what happens with our solutions. So let's say we have two lines and they intersect, okay? Basically the description of the graph means they're intersecting lines. So what happens is that they have different slopes and they can have different y-intercepts as well. So what happens when we just have two lines that intersect at one place, we basically only have one solution, okay? Like we saw in the last example. Now, what happens when we have the same exact line, meaning the two equations give us the same line? This means we have the same slope and the same intercept. Basically, everything is the same. Well, our solution is actually going to be infinitely many, okay? Meaning that all the points that are on that line, all of them satisfy both equations. So like if we checked, we would get a true statement. Now, what happens when we have parallel lines? Now, remember, we talked about this in our last unit when we just talked about linear equations. Well, when we have linear lines, that means we have the same slope, but they do have different intercepts. Well, what happens is that because they're parallel, remember, they never intersect. And so we really have zero solutions. And so what that means when we write it out, we're going to say no solution, because there's no way we can get anything that satisfies both of those lines there. Okay, let's go ahead. We're going to do another graphing here. Let's go and do our next one. Once again, we're solving by graphing. Now, anytime we are graphing here, remember, we need to make sure it's in that y equals mx plus b form, so that is that slope intercept. So we look at our first, our next example. We save this example too. We have 6x minus 2y equals 8. Well, know that this is not in that slope intercept form. So what we need to do is solve for y. So my first thing is, I'm going to subtract 6x from both sides. Now, no, I put it in front of the 8 because we want to keep it in that form. Now I'm going to divide everything by a negative 2. So divide all of the terms. So now I get y equals negative 6 divided by negative 2 gives us a 3x, and then 8 divided by negative 2 gives us a 4. Now, what do you notice about our second equation, which is y equals 3x minus 4, and the first equation we solved for? They are the same exact line. So when you're graphing this, you really should only have one line, meaning our slope here is 3 and our y-intercept is negative 4. So we're going to plot the point, negative 4, which is on the y-axis, and with our slope of 3, that means we go up 3 and then to the right 1. So I go up 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and one more. There we go. Now I connect my points here. Okay. Now, if we have the same exact lines, now this is going back to our last slide, if our two equations is the same exact line, what is our answer? Well, this is going to be infinitely many solutions. Okay? Because all the points on both of those lines will work, okay, since they are the same line. Okay, let's go and do the next one. So we have y equals 4x plus 5. So let's go ahead, let's figure out that slope there. So m is going to be 4, and our y-intercept is a positive 5. So I'm going to go ahead and graph that. So I go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I go up 4 to the right one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to do the opposite because I do need more than just 2 points. So I'm going to go down 4. And then to the left one. Let's give you the same 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we can probably do one more. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Okay, so now I connect my points. There we go. Okay, so now my other one, I do need to solve for y because it's not in that y equals mx plus b. So what I'm going to do is add 4x to both sides. So now y equals positive 4x minus 2. So here, our slope is also 4, and our y-intercept is negative 2. So here, I go to negative 2, There we go. And now I go up 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. And then same thing down. I go down 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. There we go. Now I connect. Now, notice that the two lines have the same exact slope. Okay? They both have m equals 4. So what happens when we have the same exact slope? That means these are parallel lines. And because they're parallel lines, that means they will never intersect. So what's going to be our final solution here? Well, this is going to be a no solution, because there are no points that satisfy both equations or both lines. Okay? Okay, well, make sure that you guys work on the homework assignment, and if you need any help, make sure you contact me. I'll see you guys later.